In this lesson, we're going to talk about operating on functions. So basically taking more than one function, two or more, and adding them, subtracting them, multiplying them, and dividing them. So if I am given or asked to combine them, and it looks like this, f plus g of x, and that's how it's said, f plus g of x. Basically, I'm just asking you to take f of x and g of x and add them together. Same thing with subtraction. Just remember that subtraction is not commutative, so the order that I subtract them in does matter. Meaning, if I have 5 minus 3, that's a very different answer than 3 minus 5, so make sure that you subtract them in the right order. Addition is commutative, so it doesn't matter the order that I subtract them in. We also have multiplication and division. Again, if I am multiplying them, the order does not matter because multiplication is also commutative, but division is not. So if I'm dividing them, make sure you're dividing in the order that they're asking you. If I'm given these two functions, what is the result of taking them and adding them together? So I have f of x, which is 3x plus 2, and I'm going to add that to g of x, which is 2x minus 7. Now remember that I don't need these parentheses, but I'm just doing that to show you the separation of this is f of x, this is g of x. So I'm going to add like terms. 3x and 2x becomes 5x, and then 2 and negative 7 becomes negative 5. So there is my two functions added together. Here are my two functions, f of x and g of x, and they're asking me to multiply them together. Again, multiplication, the order does not matter, so I've got f of x, which is 3 to the x, times g of x, which is 5. Now, typically when we look at this, we would write it in this order. We would have 5 first, and then times 3 raised to the x power. I would accept either answer, just make sure you know you could recognize it as both so that if it were multiple choice. If I'm asked to subtract them, again, make sure you pay attention to the order. So f comes first, 2x minus 3 minus 4x minus 11. Now again, parentheses for the first one aren't necessary, but the second set I would put those because that we need to make sure that this negative is applied to both the 4x and the minus 11. So really I need to take this negative and I need to distribute that. So I'm going to have 2x minus 3 minus 4x, and then negative and negative could give me plus 11. So 2x minus 4x is going to be negative 2x, negative 3, and positive 11 is positive 8. Alright, if I'm subtracting, or excuse me, not subtracting, dividing, make sure again that you pay attention to the order. So f divided by g, so f of x is going to go on top, g of x on the bottom. If I were to simplify this, please be careful, do not cancel that out. If I had 2 times x over 2, then I could do that and my answer would just be x. But that is not the case here. It's not 2 times x, it's 2 raised to the x. So if I wanted to simplify this, let's talk about going back to our properties of exponents. This base is the same as this base. This exponent is x, this exponent is a 1. And remember that if I have the same base and I'm dividing, I can subtract their exponents. So if I wanted to simplify this, I would subtract their exponents so it would look like that. Alright, lastly, if I am asked to subtract, but now it's given me a specific value to evaluate each function at, first I'm going to find what g of 5 is, then what f of 5 is, and then I'm going to subtract their answers. So if I plug in 5 to my function g, I get 5 squared plus 8. 5 squared is 25. 25 plus 8 is 33. if I take 5 and I plug it in to f, sorry, it's not really looking like a 5. I plug in 5. F of 5 would be 5 cubed minus 15 times 5. So 5 cubed is 125. Minus 15 times 5, which is 75. And 125 minus 75 is 50. And then I'm going to subtract them again. Be careful of the order. So g of 5, my answer was 33. F of 5, my answer was 50. 33 minus 50 is going to give me negative 17. If this is what I'm given and I'm asked to find 2 times g of 4, I'm going to evaluate g of 4 and then I'm going to multiply my answer times 2. So if I find g of 4 by plugging in 4, 9 times 4 is 36. 36 minus 21 is 15. And then I'm going to take that answer, I'm going to multiply it by 2, and I get an answer of 30. There are other operations on functions, specifically composite functions, but we won't look at those in this lesson.